first stop brought me to Micanopy, Florida. Here I met with a man named James Hopkins, who, in 1997, had quite the terrifying encounter in Myakka Estates.
How you doing, sir? James?
Yeah, this is my crew that's with me.
How you doing? Just walking my boy over here.
Conveniently, I showed up just in time, as he was walking his 10-foot, 102-pound red-tail boa
He is a
bone crusher.
Colombian red-tail. He's about 10.5 foot long. I do custom figures, so usually I'll get a custom figure in the picture. I take pictures of it. Royce is on the wrong hunting preserve.
Right?
Now James makes custom figures, and I could have sat here and talked to him about this stuff all day. The detail and the craftsmanship that went into these things completely blew my mind. But unfortunately, I wasn't here to talk to James about custom figures.
I had a friend, Andy Brown, who lived out in Myakka Estates. So we used to explore around a lot. And we found this trail one day. That was really interesting, so we took it all the way down there. And at the end, it opened up. It was round. And great place to camp. So this one night, we went camping. We packed up my stuff and brought it out there. The tents, the coolers, everything. So it's about 12:30 at night, and we're camping, you know, we're drinking beers and just enjoying the night.
You need to be careful with your hair, too.
I know, bro. Plus, I'm not
I got mine in a
hat.
hat. I'm just kidding. It's not when mine's in a hat. Imagine that guy that you guys were talking about came over here.
And then out of nowhere, we just heard this roar. It was unlike anything I've ever heard. It was, to explain it, it was like a mix with a bear and a large cat. So when it roared, it was like, wow, like it had a growl at the end of it. And we all stopped right there, and we looked at each other. And I said, I ain't never heard no shit like that.
Right.
There was no, we all knew right then. What was that?
How far away do you think it was?
By the sound of how loud it was, could have been no more than 100 yards away.
Right.
It was close and it was loud, and it echoed.
So you had the feeling that it was actually growling at you?
It was growling at us.
Oh, right.
We knew, because we're out here.
Yeah.
It's just us, and something is growling aggressively.
What comes across your mind? What do you do next?
I said, well, I'm not staying, we're leaving. And they're like, I agree. And I told the one guy, because I have a three-wheeler, you know, it's old school with the one wheel in the front. And how I got us out there was one at a time, you know. And I was telling him, I'll be back for you. And Brian was like, no, you ain't leaving me here.
Right.
He was frightened just as much as we were. We left my camping gear, everything. As we're going, we can hear branches breaking in the forest, in the path, as we're going.
So it's chasing you at this point?
Yes, everybody else heard it too. They're like, something is following us.
Right.
So we finally get out of the trail and we make our right. It's a right-hand turn and it is a paved road. At that moment, I got on that road and I said, where can we go? What's the closest place we can go? At this time, it's like 1:30 at night, when it's late.
Right.
And Andy knew this girl and her sister that lived out there. He goes, we can stop there. So we ditched the three-wheeler into the bushes and we went up to the little second building that her daughter stayed in. She had a room at the top. So we walked up it and knocked on the door. She answered the door. She's like, what are you guys doing here?
Oh my gosh.
What are you doing here?
We cannot go out there. Bro, I don't see anything.
What are you doing here?
Dude, is it still
out there?
I don't know.
Listen, calm down, okay? We're all here for one reason, because we didn't know where to go, and there's something out there, and I don't know what it is, and they don't know what it is, so we're kind of in the same boat you are right now. Just.
And she's like, you guys can't be here long. Well, Brian looked out the window and said, there's a drunk guy running around out in your field.
Do you normally have a drunk guy dancing in your yard?
We all go to the window and we see this thing making big strides in the field, in a full moon, and we can see this thing running in the field. And at first, we're zoomed in on it, we're like, what is that? And then it ran up to the shed, and this thing was as tall as the shed, and that's a 7-foot shed.
Right.
This thing's 7 foot tall. And it stops and it looks right up at the window, and everybody just backs up.
Oh.
We're like, what is that?
Yeah.
About using curse words.
right.
There's a lot involved.
Yeah.
Andy Brown was he used to go to my dad's martial art class, and he was a champion fighter. This guy was not afraid of fighting.
Right.
This scared the shit out of him.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
He went in the corner. He was like, this isn't happening. And at that moment, that girl knew that we weren't bullshitting.
Yeah.
That something is there. And that's when it started getting real. That's when it sunk in. The wooden steps we was hearing creaking. That's when the shit really started to hit the fan, because when we started hearing up the steps, we didn't make that noise walking up those steps. We're all hearing it, and now our hearts are pumping, they're thumping. We're like, it's downstairs. Everybody in the room was trying to think about what they're gonna do. They're talking about opening the window and jumping out, a second story window. Like, these are ideas that are coming in everybody's head. I can make that jump. Andy's not thinking anything at this moment. I'm trying to get him together because he's a warrior, you know? And if there's gonna be one person I'm gonna need, I'm sure you would be. I mean, shit has went down before, and he's always been there, so I'm trying to get him in his right mind. The girl is completely flipped out at this point, and she's like, thanks a lot, assholes, you brought this thing here.
Oh, wow.
You know, so we're like, this is the first place we came to.
Yeah, yeah.
Because his house is way farther away. Way farther away. We had the swords and the weapons, and I said to everybody, I said, listen, this thing's gonna come in here, and if it does, it's gonna get one of us. And if that was you, would you want us to run and leave you?
Right.
And at that point, I said,
So you're coming up
with ideas
with a
on how
defense plan.
we think it's gonna come through that door.